What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the Season 3 game mode rewards and which of them is worth getting, which of these guys are worth choosing between the Tom Gugliotta, the Joe Smith, the Cuttino Mobley, Anfernee Simons, or should you save up 3 completion cards, which is crazy, for the Galaxy Opal Marc Gasol. Now, as I do dive in to talk about this, at the end of the day, do whatever you guys have to do to have fun with the game. Don't let what I say, skew your opinion if you're a big fan of one of these cards. But I want to just start by comparing these cards and going from there. Now, I want to start with the Galaxy Opal Marc Gasol because he is obviously the most expensive. You need 3 mode completion cards for him. But I know a lot of people out there are probably like, Ty, Marc Gasol is really good, and we don't have very many good centers in the game. Now remember, for Marc Gasol, you need 3 mode completion rewards. So that would be completing Breakout Gauntlet and getting 200 Showdown wins. That would be completing the offline modes in Triple Threat Breakout and Triple Threat Clutch Time, as well as getting your 13 pieces in Breakout and and getting Breakout Gauntlet done. It is going to be a long grind for Marc Gasol. Is it attainable? Yes. But at the end of the day, he's got a 94 3-ball. Dunking the ball is fine. Defensively, he's fine. I wish his speed was a little bit higher, but he's fine. My thing is the Marc Gasol base. I gotta be honest, I've not used it this year. So I'd be lying to say, oh, I know it's good or oh, I know it's bad this year because, again, I have not used the release. But when I think about the Marc Gasol release over the 2K history, the time that I've been playing 2K, it just doesn't strike me as being a release that I think is going to be very good. And again, I'd have to go shoot around with the, all-time Grizzlies Marc Gasol and see what that truly is like. But I'll say this, the releases for centers are so important. And if you're looking at a Marc Gasol that, yes, has a max 3-ball, but if his release isn't good, that's going to hold them back slightly, especially when that's the main thing he gives you. We also, throughout 2K history, have seen Marc Gasol be 7'1", right? He's only 6'11". So, I'm not trying to sit up here and say, don't get Marc Gasol. But I'm sitting up here telling you Marc Gasol is not worth it, right? He's just absolutely not worth it, okay? We'll move on. We might come back, but we'll move on for now. Anfernee Simons. I've heard good things about Anfernee Simons. Really good things. About his movement, about his release, and honestly, I think he's going to be okay. But my thing is this. Anfernee Simons is only 6'3". Badge-wise, he looks awful. When I say awful, I mean awful. 20 badges. I mean, you're going to have to fully badge him, which is going to cost you a bunch of MT. I have a hard time getting to Anfernee Simons. Defensively, he's going to be terrible. And so, again, when you're looking at a card where, yeah, you're going to have to apply, on-ball menace, you're going to have to apply pick dodger, maybe paint patroller, maybe dimer, you're going to have to apply a lot of badges to a card that's already incomplete. Yeah, offensively, I think Anfernee Simons is going to be fine. I actually think offensively the card's going to be really good, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Because there's 2 sides to the ball, and defensively, I think Anfernee Simons is going to struggle so much. And so that's the thing. If you're only 6'3", at the point guard position, I don't even think he's better than Jason Kidd. And people are going to disagree with me on this, but Jason Kidd's better badge-wise. Jason Kidd is better stat-wise. Jason Kidd is taller. Jason Kidd has his release on quick. I mean, compare the defense of the 2 cards, it's not even close. And I wouldn't even be running Jason Kidd at this stage of the game. I don't think he's worth running, but I'm just saying I think he's better than Anfernee Simons. So another card that we're talking about today that I just simply do not think is worth it. Another mode reward this year, or this season, is Cuttino Mobley, right? And think about what I just said about Anfernee Simons being a 6'3" point guard, and that's just being too undersized to run. Then you get to Cuttino Mobley, that's a 6'4" shooting guard. Yeah, defensively, he looks slightly better, right? Offensively, he looks fine. But the 75 driving dunk is troll. That is the one thing about Cuttino Mobley, stat-wise, that I don't love. Everything else stat-wise, yeah, you could say the block is low, but he's a shooting guard. Everything else stat-wise, I think I can figure out and it'll be fine. But that driving dunk is so troll. He's got the default ball base, which is nothing crazy. Pro 3 leaner is fine, but again, it's not like the leaners are crazy in this game. I'd go as far as to saying this. Give me Pink Diamond Klay Thompson, the level 40 season 1 reward, over Cuttino Mobley. And these are things that should not be the case. Like, I'm sorry, we are in season 3. There's no way a season 1 reward should be better than a season 3 reward. There's just no way. And Cuttino Mobley is better than Klay Thompson. Like, he just is. I don't know what else there is to really say. He is the better card. So it is what it is at the end of the day. Like, I can only do so much, but it is kind of pain to look at and know and realize that that's the situation that we got is the fact that, like, Cuttino Mobley is just going to be a worse version, of, I don't even want to say of a Klay Thompson. He's just worse than Klay. Side by side, you compare the cards, he's just worse. So another season 3 reward I don't like. Now, I will say this. I'm happy to say that I started with the cards I really don't like as far as their value. I really don't like Marc Gasol. I really don't like, Anfernee Simons, Cuttino Mobley. The 2 cards I don't mind are Joe Smith and Tom Gugliotta. Now, I want to start by saying this, right? As I compare the cards, the Diamond Wild Gem versions of these cards are nearly just as good. So, again, if you could find a diamond that's souped up, I'd honestly encourage you guys to go get them. I would. I just don't know how else to really phrase it, how else to really say it. That's just kind of the approach that I would take. Now, again, that's just me. Don't let my opinion just, skew everything for you. But that's just where I am ultimately at with things. But again, you compare him to the diamond. Badge-wise, he's quite a bit better. 30 badges compared to 23. That is actually quite a bit better. So, I lied when I said you could just go get the diamond. This card is quite a bit better. I'm not trying to sit up here and gas the pink diamond Joe Smith. We'll talk about him a little bit more here. But again, he's just stat-wise slightly better than the diamond. I think is a problem. 6'10 at the 3, 87 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, solid, speed ball handle, decent enough stats all throughout. What really makes this card good is he is 6'10 at the 3 with great badges. I mean, badge-wise, he's going to come with literally like every badge in the game. Fully badge, you can give him the pick dodge, you can give him the dimer, the shifty shooter if you want. Like, you can definitely soup him up, really well. I think the big thing for me when I'm looking at him is it's just like the D-Rob base with the Horford upper is troll. That's really troll. And honestly, I don't want to say it's unusable, but it's borderline unusable. Like, when people try using David Robinson against me, it's troll, right? Like, David Robinson is a troll card to use, and then you combine that with the Al Horford upper, it makes it even worse. And so again, that's the one thing about Joe Smith that is pretty troll. The rest of the card is actually good. I do wish they gave him hot spots from 3. That's one thing I don't love whatsoever. But again, the fact of the matter is Joe Smith is not a bad card on this game. That's the facts, right? That's me telling you guys the absolute facts is Joe Smith is a really solid card in this game, right? The other side of it is, again, the D-Rob release with the Horford upper is just not great, right? Though that's what we know with Joe Smith. And again, it's not me hating on him. It's just me being realistically honest with you about Joe Smith. He's fine, but is he worth getting? I don't know. Talk about that after we take a look at Tom. Tom Gugliotta, last but certainly not least, 31 badges, hot spots from both corners, 6'10 at the 3, 89 3-ball, max standing driving dunk, decent ball handle. Defensively, I mean, am I crazy to say I would like more out of him defensively? Like, 88 interior solid, 85 perimeter okay, 82 steal okay, 88 block okay, rebounding wise is okay, speed is okay, agility at an 85 I think is kind of troll. Doesn't come with on-ball menace, so if you get him, you're going to have to put that glove and pick dodger on him. Probably needs limitless shifty shooter as well. Like, yeah, he's going to end up getting a lot of those badges, but you're going to have to be the one to put him on him. Now, the Aaron Gordon base. Throughout 2K history, would have said that this card is terrible because of that Aaron Gordon release. However, this year, it's not bad, right? And I honestly got to be honest with you. I honestly got to be honest with you. The Diamond Tom Gugliotta that I'm looking at here is one of the cards that I've struggled with the most when I've played against him. Like, Diamond Tom is elite, and he only has 21 base badges. Now you're looking at Pink Diamond Tom with 31 base badges. That is going to be really good on this game, and I'm going to say he is by far and away your best Season 3 reward as far as a player. Now, is it worth taking him or the 3 legend badges? That's up to you, right? Like, that's up to you and what you want to, do, because let's say, like, you've got Pink Diamond Glenn Rice, and this is just something I want to bring to your attention so you don't, get Tom and be disappointed. I think Pink Diamond Glenn Rice is nearly just as good as Tom. I don't think he's quite as good, but I think it's close. And if you want to put legends on Glenn, then do what you got to do. I do think Tom's better than him, and I would recommend getting Tom instead of doing that. But I'm just saying that's something you guys could obviously think about. But Tom is definitely solid. They should have made him better stat-wise for sure, because his stats are still pretty troll. But with a basically, 93 ball, with max dunking, he is going to be better offensively, then he's going to be better defensively, which is kind of crazy and honestly not something I was prepared for. But he is better on that offensive side of the ball than he is going to be defensively. His release is fine. His driving dunk is max. Defensively, I wish stat-wise he gave you a little bit more defense. That's something I guess I am complaining about, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me why his defense isn't better. But I do think Tom's a really, really, really solid card, and definitely a card that if you're looking at, picking up somebody to help your squad out, Tom can play, guys. Like, I want you guys to know that Tom can absolutely play on this game. And again, if I go and get a Season 3 reward, since they are limiting this season, if you didn't know, they are limiting the amount of legend badges you can get by completing modes, Tom's probably going to be the guy I go with. Honestly, after getting the legend badges, I'll probably get Tom and try him out. Do I think he's going to play for my squad? Honestly, probably not, but that's part of the reason is because my squad is so good. But I really like what Tom is doing, and let's say I had a no money spent squad series, I would try completing a mode to go get Tom. Yeah, we've got a lot of good small forwards in the game. We do. Even from the festivals and stuff, they've given out a lot of small forwards. So that's crazy that the top 2 cards that we can get are small forwards in Tom as well as Joe Smith. But those are your top 2 options from the modes. You look at Season 3 rewards. Marc Gasol isn't even better than Tom Gugliotta. I'm being so serious when I say that. People are going to get mad at me, but I am so serious. I would much rather have Tom Gugliotta on my court than Marc Gasol. Now that's with me having, the Jack Sikmas of the world. I'd even go as far as saying this. I'd venture to guess, and this is just me not really knowing for sure, but I would venture to guess that I would rather have Jack Sikma on my court than Marc Gasol. Now, why? A lot of it is because Jack Sikma literally has the best big man release on the game. And so you're looking at a card with a questionable release in Marc Gasol compared to a card with the best release in the game in Jack Sikma. I think I'm taking Jack Sikma. Like, again, that's me being maybe not smart, and people are going to fry me in the comments for it, but I'm so serious when I say that. He's got higher speed. He's got a better release. I'm so serious. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Tom Gugliotta is definitely the guy to grind for. I honestly think domination is just as worth it as anything because of the head coach. But that's just kind of where I'm at with things. You guys can let me know your thoughts on things down below in the comments. Do I know what I'm talking about, or do I not know ball? Let me know. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.